Okay, tokens. Nothing much we are going to discuss, only a little bit of it. So token means smallest element in the program is called as a token. Smallest element, smallest entity, smallest element in the program is called as a token. For example, I have a variable a, it is a token. I have a symbol plus, it is a token. Every smallest element in the program we'll call it as tokens. So tokens are classified like this. One is keywords, second is identifiers, third one is constants, the fourth is operators, the fifth one is special symbols. So token is the smallest element in the program. Every smallest element in the program will call it as a token. So now tokens are classified into 5 types: keywords, identifiers, constants, or we'll call them as literals, operators, special symbols. So now we'll discuss, we'll not discuss much of these things. First 3 things we'll discuss, because if we go to operators, that itself takes so many classes. The operators are almost similar to what you have in your C language. So now we'll go with the first one, that is keywords. So what are keywords? Keywords are the names, or we can say keywords are predefined names. Predefined means, see, those people who have developed this language, that is James Gosling and his team. Yesterday we saw who developed it. So James Gosling and his team, when they developed this language, whatever names they used, that we'll call it as keywords. There are around 51 keywords, out of which only 49 are used. 2 are reserved for future purpose. Is that right? There are 51 keywords in your Java language, 49 are used and 2 are reserved for future purpose. We are not going to see all the keywords. You already know few things: int, char, float, double, so many things. Whatever you are C language, almost all keywords are there. In addition to that, they have added few more keywords. Is that right? So now that is keywords, and the very important one is identifiers. So now identifiers are user-defined names. User-defined names. Whatever names we are defining, we'll call it as identifiers. Whatever names James Gosling and his team defined, they are called as keywords. But whatever names we defined, we'll call it as identifiers. So the very important thing is, there are some rules for identifiers. See, I cannot define as I like. There are some rules for identifiers. Very important rules for identifiers. So these are the areas where normally everyone will make mistakes. Rule 1. What is rule 1 means? Keywords cannot be used as identifiers. Keywords cannot be used as identifiers. Keywords cannot be used as identifiers. I cannot use keywords as identifiers. Why? Because keywords you can use in your program. I forgot to tell one point when I was telling keywords. See, keywords you can use in your program, but you can never change the meaning of a keyword. But whenever you are trying to use keyword as an identifier, it is a predefined one. Your identifier is user-defined one. Your predefined one you are going to use in the user-defined means you are trying to change its meaning. You are trying to change the meaning of the keyword, which is not possible. Is that right? Keywords you can use in your program, but keywords cannot be used as identifiers. Identifiers means your own variable. See, identifiers are user-defined names. What are the things for which we will be giving names? For a variable we'll give a name, for a method we'll give a name, for a class we'll give a name. So whatever names we are giving, so that is called identifiers. So keywords cannot be used as identifiers. That is the first rule. The second rule is, see, from this rules you will get definitely one question in the MCQs. So now rule 2 is, your identifier must start must not start with digit. Must not start with digit. It should not start with digit. An identifier must not start with digit. It must start with alphabet, or dollar symbol or underscore. These three things are allowed. Alphabets, any alphabets you can start. Starting character should not be digit. Starting character can be alphabet, can be a dollar symbol, can be underscore. This is underscore, not hyphen. Underscore can be underscore. These things are allowed. The third one is rule 3. White space or space is not allowed. Space is not allowed. In between of the identifier names, you should not use any space. Space is not allowed. Fourth rule is rule 4. Rule 4 is, so Java is a case sensitive language. Java is a case sensitive language. So you have to use the same version of the variable. You have to use the same version of the variable throughout the program. You have to use the same version of the variable throughout the program. For example, if I use total and if I use total, here T is capital, here T is small. Java will treat this both differently. Both differently. See, while declaring the variable, I used this T, but when the program I am using this T, then it says the variable is not declared. It does not know. Why? Because it is a case sensitive language. You have to use the same case. Either to use small case or capital case, it is left to us. But what is that is throughout the program, if you are defining one variable like this, throughout the program, you have to use this T as capital only. If you are using one place, you are using capital, another place you are using small, means it says it does not know that variable, because both will be treated as differently, because Java is a case sensitive language. Is that right? So these 4 rules are very, very basic rules. Common mistakes every programmers at the beginning, starting programmers, they will do mistakes at this point only. Is that right? So here I said no, you'll be getting one question. So they'll ask you to identify the valid identifiers. Identify the valid identifiers. So option A it is I'll write sum of So from this, tell me which are the valid identifiers. Tell me which are valid identifiers. So now it is sum. So I'm not starting with any alphabet, any digit or anything. So this is valid. It's correct. So now sum underscore of, I did not give any space. This is valid. Some space of, this is invalid, because white space is not allowed. White space is not allowed. It is invalid. Is that right? Dollar $A, what is that we told? It can start with either dollar, underscore or alphabet. It is valid. Underscore, it is valid. It is starting with the digit. So invalid. Why? Because starting with the digit. Okay. So these 2 things are invalid. The rest of the identifiers are valid. So they will give a list of identifiers and they will tell you to identify either valid or invalid identifiers. Definitely in this area, you will be getting one MCQ question in the Wipro and as well as in other MCQ tests. Is that right? So I hope you understood about identifiers. Is it fine? Okay. So the next token is The next token is constant, or we'll call it as a literal. So what is a constant or literal is? It is an identifier. It is an identifier whose value cannot be changed. Okay, an identifier whose value cannot be changed, we'll call it as a constant or literal. See, constants are classified into two types. One is numeric constants. First classification, numeric constant. Numeric constant. So numeric constant, they deal with numbers. In this, again, you have two types. One is integer constants. Integer constant, that is numbers which do not have decimal point, 10, 5, 6, 7, something like this. You should not have fractional part or decimal point. The next one is real constants. Real constants. So these are the things which have the fractional part, 10.23, 5 by 6, 7 by 8, something like this. If you are having the fractional part or if you are having the decimal point, we will call them as real constants, or they are also known as floating point constants. Decimal point irunduchana real constant, decimal point illana integer constant. Is that right? So these are numeric constant. Numeric constants are classified into two types. One is integer constant and real constant. So integer constant is one which is not having decimal point, and whichever is having decimal point, we'll call it as real constant. Okay, the second classification is a non-numeric constant. Second classification is non-numeric constants. The second classification is non-numeric constant. Is that right? So in non-numeric constant, again we have two things, different things. First one is character constant. Character constant. Character constant. What is character constant? Is anything that is placed within single quotes is a character constant. What is that? Anything that is placed within single quotes. If I place anything in single quotes, it is a character constant. For example, A in single quotes is a character constant. B in single quotes is a character constant. So whatever I place in single quotes is a character constant. Okay, so that is first one. The second one is string constant. String constant. So anything that I place in double quotes, anything whichever I place in double quotes is a string constant. For example, if I say hi in double quotes, hello in double quotes, it is a string constant. So now I'll ask you a question. 1, 2, 3, 4 in double quotes. Is it a string constant? So the answer is it is string constant. What is that we are saying? Definition itself, we are saying anything. Whatever you place in double quotes, it becomes a string constant. Similarly, whatever I place in single quotes, letter 9 in single quotes is a character constant. Anything that is placed within single quotes is a character constant, and anything which is placed in double quotes is a string constant. In Java, these things are already there in C and C++. Now you go to Java, the third one, there is another constant in Java called as a Boolean constant. So Boolean constant is a constant which takes only two values, true and false. So here true and false are keywords in Java. True and false are keywords in Java. So a Boolean constant is a constant which takes only two values, either true or false. Okay, so this is about a constant. Constant is an identifier whose value cannot be changed throughout the program. So constants are classified into two types. One is numeric constant and non-numeric constant. Okay, so numeric constant we have seen the classification. Non-numeric constant also we have seen the classification. Is it fine? Any doubt on this?